What's going on, y'all? Didn't know I was gonna make this video. I had no idea that he was gonna be traded. So let's get into it. Sam Darnold has been traded to the Carolina Panthers. What does that mean for our guy Teddy? And what could be possible landing spots for Teddy? Let's get into it.
Pocket collapses. He's in trouble trying to run it himself. Bridgewater diving, and he's there! Unbelievable! He flew through the air like Superman. Oh my goodness, what an effort.
Hey, if you don't know me, my name is Keith. I do BlackQBseries. I covered all the black quarterbacks from Deshaun Watson to Teddy Bridgewater, obviously. And if you want to follow my journey and kind of catch up with where we've been at, the link to all my videos will be at the end. So stay tuned, come check this out, and let's get into it. So the Jets finally made the decision to trade Sam Darnold. He was traded for a second, a third, and a sixth. And his career with the Jets was very up and down. Now, granted, he had Adam Gates, so I wouldn't say that he had the best career ever, but he had Adam Gates, so it's kind of hard to even judge him. But last year with the Jets, and everybody knows the Jets were 2-14. They should have been 1-15. But just poor. Like, they couldn't even lose correctly. So the Jets were 2-14. Sam Darnold, 2,208 yards and 9 touchdowns, 11 interceptions, 72.7 passer rating. So, and just to put this in perspective, let me show you what all the Jets records was leading up to this. So in 2016 they went 5-11. 2017 the same record. 2018 4-12. 79. I don't know how they got to 79. That year they scared a lot of people too. Like, they should have had a better record. I think Sam got mono that year, and it was crazy. And so obviously 2012 we had 2-14. So Sam Darnold was the number 1 overall pick a couple years ago. He never lived up to expectations. I never thought he was that good to begin with because his USC tape was never that great. But when you have Adam Gates, and when you have the Jets organization, and when you have the dysfunction, and when you have the New York media, it's kind of hard to be successful. So he was kind of went into a gunfight with a water pistol, kind of. So I don't want to give him that much slack or criticize him too much, because he played for the Jets. Nobody's since Rex Ryan left, they haven't been very good. They got to a couple of AFC Championship games since when Rex Ryan was there, and they just been awful ever since. So as much as I don't think Sam Darnold is that good, I don't think he ever had a chance. But now that he gets to go to Carolina, he gets to play with Christian McCaffrey. He gets to play with those weapons that he has. I should see him having a good season. But he's in a division with Tampa, Matt Ryan, and the Falcons, and with Tom Brady. So it's easy enough to say that he might be the worst quarterback in that division. So the other side of that coin is Teddy Bridgewater. Now, they signed Teddy Bridgewater. I think it was a 3-year deal, and they're out of him the first year, which is crazy to me, considering all the injuries that they had. Now, I covered Teddy, obviously. I don't want to say that he had a bad year. He didn't have a good year. There were moments in games all throughout the season that if Teddy would have made better quarterback decisions, if Teddy would have put the team on his back, if Teddy would have just done better as a quarterback and as a leader, that they could have won those games. Now, I know Christian McCaffrey was out for pretty much the whole season, but there were games that were right there that Teddy did not show up and win. And he had an injury at some point throughout the season. It just wasn't a good season. Just wasn't a good season for him. by his standards. 3,733 yards, 15 touchdowns, 11 interceptions, 92.1 passer rating. The 11 interceptions is what really gets to me, because it's like some of those interceptions I remember throughout the whole year. I'm like, come on, Teddy, you got to play better than that. You got to make better passes. You have to win this game for your team, and he wasn't able to do that. Like most of the times, they would only show up for one half of the game. They would play really, really well in the first half. Then they would just lay an egg in the second half. They'll play like dog shit in the first half, and then they'll play really, really good in the second half. Like the game against Tampa, they should have won. That's the one that sticks out for me. The game against Kansas City, they was right there. They just never was able to put a whole 48 minutes of football together in order to win, and that has a lot to do with quarterback play. As much as I don't like Tom Brady raises the level of his teammates to where they know they're going to win. Teddy Bridgewater didn't do that. As much as he should have, Teddy Bridgewater hasn't shown that he can play that well outside of Sean Payton's offense. And that's what this season showed. Now, I feel like he should have got one more season, but the way the quarterback market is looking, and, the personal things going on with Deshaun, because they were major players in the Deshaun Watson sweepstakes, but the personal things that I'm not going to talk about is going on with Deshaun. It kind of muddied the waters for them to where they had to make a decision, because it was either keep Teddy and maybe more or less the same, or go trade for Sam Darnold, because the deal that they had it was probably less, because the Jets were asking for a lot, but the league was like, no, you're not getting the first round pick for Deshaun, or you're not getting the first round pick for Sam Darnold, and they were willing to give up 3 first round picks. McCaffrey, they was willing to give up a whole lot of pieces in order to get Deshaun. And so it's kind of like they got Sam Darnold on the bargain bin. It's like when you want something really, really nice, but for some reason it's not there no more, and you can get the cheaper option to hold you over. So I think that's what this trade is, the Sam Darnold trade. And Shannon made a good point today. They could possibly still trade for Deshaun, because they still have their first round picks. So, but we don't know what's going to happen to Deshaun. We have no idea what's going on with Deshaun. So they kind of went with what they could get right now to hold him over. So, in worst case scenario, Sam Darnold plays okay, and they can move on. Best case scenario, he plays like I think he was number 1 or number 2 overall pick, and now they got the guy for 10 years. So it was a good risk for what they gave up for Sam Darnold. And then that leads on to Teddy Bridgewater, who is open to keeping him, or they're open to keeping him, which it's complete BS. If I'm Bridgewater, I want to be gone. I'm not even showing up to camp. Now, you can say what you want, that's unprofessional, blah, blah, blah. But it's kind of like what Iguodala did. He didn't want to be somewhere. They traded for him, and he didn't show up there, and then they got rid of him. Same thing. Teddy Bridgewater kind of was dealt a bad hand based off the fact that Christian McCaffrey was hurt. But you can't really be mad, because this is your fault as well. This is your fault as well. Like, you play better and you stay healthy, this doesn't happen. I think if they play better, they could have won 10 games this year. Like, that's how good this Carolina team was. They could have won 10 games. It was so many games that they were in that they couldn't close because they didn't play. Excuse me. Like I said earlier, a whole 48 minutes. So you might ask yourself, Keith, what teams do you think Teddy could go to? We don't know who's going to draft anything. The only thing that's for certain at this point is that Urban Meyer is in Jacksonville is going to get Trevor Lawrence. It's pretty sure now that Zach Wilson is going to go to the Jets, and then whoever trade, because there's rumors going on now that Atlanta is open to trading that number 4 pick. So whoever gets the number 4 pick is probably taking who the Jets don't draft. So say the Jets draft Justin Fields, for example, then you might see Trey Lance or Mac Jones go, because I don't think nobody else is going to draft Zach Wilson that high unless it's the Jets. So And then you also have the 49ers who's up in that same little area. So it's between the 49ers, Atlanta, and whoever else trades up. And it's rumors that Carolina might still draft the quarterback, but I don't see that happening at all. Why would you do that? That's a waste of capital. Now, me personally, this not Madden, but me personally, I might like draft. This is just crazy. This is completely out the box. This is a hot take. This might be my first hot take ever. If you draft a quarterback and then trade him for just an enormous amount of assets that you can get back in return, because somebody's going to overpay to get that guy, because they were going to overpay to draft him in the first place. So why not draft the guy now you have the capital and then have somebody overpaying for you? In worst case scenario, he sits on your bench all year and then you can trade him in the offseason. So I don't know. That's just something crazy. That's Madden. That's something that you would do in Madden. But yeah, so I don't know where Teddy's going to go. I think Teddy might be a career backup from now on, where he comes in, spots you 5-6 games, and that's it. But as a full-time starter, I think that part of his career is over. I could see Houston getting him to be their backup. Maybe Tampa. But I really don't know, because the quarterback market is very murky right now, because we don't know. The only thing we know for sure, for the most part, is Trevor Lawrence is going to Jacksonville. Zach Wilson is going to New York. And it's pretty much all we know for right now. So that's my thoughts on the matter. Stay tuned for more. Obviously, if more goes on while I'm editing this, I'll let you guys know. Stay tuned. Be safe. And I'm out of here. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Check out the rest of my videos so you can stay up to date with what's going on. I have videos from last September to now. So stay tuned.